awesome. Let's have some fun.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. You don't know what you wanna be. You don't know what you wanna do. Never gonna matter much of anything.
Doing a show themed where you play the whole record is something we've been wanting to do for a little while. To be playing at the Observatory now in 2014, very end of it, and to be looking at 3 sold-out shows for our first 3 records is something I don't think any of us could have conceived back in '91 or even in the early '90s. And I think at the time we were just hoping that we could play gigs that actually would start to pay us, because we would play for free mostly back in the day. I think everything had a little bit of an influence back in the early days, from the music we were listening to, the bands we liked, to the bands we played with, and it definitely kind of formed the sound and kind of the direction we spun off in as a band. It was natural for me to write songs that were kind of in a weird way motivating, but I think there were songs that were worded in a way that seemed kind of negative, but ultimately had a message that was positive. So I might have been spotlighting things in life that were negative, and then I think the message in a lot of them ultimately was, it might suck where you are, or you might not be happy with the things around you, but you can change them, or you can go somewhere else, or find it within yourself to take a situation that isn't perfect and see if you can make it better yourself.
You think I'm indestructible.
Is Face to Face a long shot band? I don't know. There was never any doubt in my mind. I was always confident that we would be successful to some degree, mainly because I was stubborn enough that I knew I wouldn't quit, and I would do everything in my power 24 hours a day to get myself to a point where I could do this as a living. And we would drive, an hour and a half or whatever on a Tuesday night to come play some club in Orange County, or sometimes even in Hollywood. Drive all the way back and go to work the next day. So it was tough, but when you're in your early 20s and you really want to make something happen in music, you're willing to do it. It's our career, but it's our work too, and there's a work aspect to it that's kind of mundane. You need to rehearse, you need to do these practical things that might not be glamorous, but at the end of the day, it helps when you get into a setting and play a live show if your band is tight and put together. And I get inspiration from the live performance and from that energy that you feed off the crowd. And I do get inspiration when I'm writing new music. Those are probably the moments that I think are more filled with inspiration necessarily than just maybe picking up a guitar and rehearsing. Punk rock started as this underground thing, and it was exploited a bit in the 90s and blew into the mainstream, and it's kind of going back underground, but it's still a vital and important genre. I'm happy to be part of the community and to have the longevity that comes along with building what's really more of a long relationship and almost like a family with your fans, rather than what it might be like to be in a pop band or something different. You realize pretty quick, once you start clawing your way through this, that you can't control it all, and there's gatekeepers and levels and things that can kind of keep you from getting to the next level. It's really satisfying to know that this many people care, and that it touched them in some way 20 years ago too, that it's still something that's meaningful to them, and that we can all have this experience together. It's really great.